Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So let me give a little bit of information we're going to talk about because we've kind of chatted this up and I kind of went through it this week, actually, on last Thursday. It's called oh my God, I had a brain fart. Jesus.
Hold back.
Holdback. Thanks for that. Holdback. So what's a holdback? So we did a walkthrough the day before closing.
This is what I was going to say. Hold on.
All right.
When you put in an offer, you usually have two walkthroughs in the offer. Normally, sometimes there's three, average, there's two. People will do one kind of in the middle, like halfway between closing. And the final walkthrough, you do the day before to make sure everything's in working order and everything is in the condition that you saw it in.
Pretty much. Yes.
So
That's what a buyer expects when they do that last walk. They're okay with having boxes everywhere. Long as the appliances are working, this is working, no holes in the floor. That's typically how 99% of them go, easily done.
And why do we do the final walkthrough? To make sure that everything is in the state that when we viewed it and that everything is still working. Because that's what a final walkthrough is for, is to protect yourself that everything's in good order before you take possession.
All buyers should be doing this. And I'm going to tell you right now, very little of the agents that represent buyers in this community are, a lot of them are from out of town agents and they're not being done.
I do it even if my client doesn't want to drive here. I'll do it
Me too.
myself.
It's so important. And I'm in your camp. It's so important because there is, there is circumstances where, oh, the washing machine doesn't work. I test all the appliances. I'm running the washer, putting the dryer on,
Flush
checking all
toilets.
everything, right? Looking for everything. Cleanliness
So,
is
so you went to your final walkthrough.
one final walkthrough. We went there on the Saturday and we went back on the Wednesday. Saturday, okay, you know what? Everything looks okay. Not really concerned about the cleanliness. Doesn't really, looking at it hard. Looks like the move was pretty organized, so not a real lot of concerns. Come Wednesday, we did one, and it's just like, holy cow, this place is a pigsty. Like I'm talking filthy dirty. Carpets on the stairs. They weren't the best to begin with, but they were not stained. They were livable, and they were okay. Well, they're full of stains all over the place. Noticed a dent in the fridge.
That
So
was
it
not there.
was not there. We went back into the old listing and the old video that they've uploaded for it to see if the dent was there. Surprise, surprise, it wasn't. And we didn't notice it on that Saturday. So 4 or 5 days beforehand. Didn't notice it. So we get into, I said, we got to call your lawyer. We got to get this done, send them pictures, talk to the other agent, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, place got cleaned up. Lawyers kind of asked, send pictures. We expect this to be cleaned up. Carpets are a mess. Okay, we're going to shampoo them and et cetera. So they did. But the fridge dent, it came down to the fridge dent. Like it's a noticeable dent. When you're buying a new house, you don't want to have a dented fridge. That would drive me crazy. I have to go buy a new fridge. So anyway, long story short, we asked for the holdover. Sorry, we're not getting it. Hold back, we're not getting it. Sorry, we're not going to give one. The lawyers go, well, the fridge is working. It's in good working order. That's all. So I've discussed it with other colleagues too, and he's even put it in the offers going, if things say the appliances aren't working or something, we're going to have a holdback or write in the offer. Sure enough, they walk through the day before, things aren't there. Other party goes, we're not giving you nothing. Deal has to close. So how do we protect buyers so this doesn't happen?
Well, what I want to explain to people is that a lot of agents say, oh, well, don't worry about it. We can just get a holdback. So if they don't remove the garbage, we'll get a $500 holdback for a bin. If they don't do this, or, something's broken, we'll just do a holdback and get the money on closing. The lawyer holds the funds in trust, okay, which is what a holdback is. You have to provide a receipt for him to release those funds to you. So if you had to get the air conditioner fixed, you have to give him the receipt. He gives you the holdback money back. Whatever's left over goes back to the seller. So if they held back $1,000
Mhm.
and it costs you $500, then you get the 500, the seller gets the 500 back.
Correct.
What people do not explain to you, and it's happened to me many of times, the seller can say no. So if the seller does not agree to this holdback, if they don't say yes, you can hold back money, and you refuse to close, you are in breach of contract and you can get sued.
I mean, it's gonna cost you some money to do it, and, but what's the solution? Because it's always, yes, what we put in a clause and hold back, but it doesn't go nowhere. So this doesn't happen too often, so I wanna make sure the viewers, this doesn't happen all the time.
I've had it happen quite a few times.
Yeah, I've been lucky, it's only happened once or twice in my career, so I'm kind of fortunate with that. But I was thinking, okay, so I'm gonna put in a clause saying, you know what, we're gonna have that the seller represents that the home is, all the appliances will be as seen on this date, no dents on it, because they come back
But
and ask,
okay, but you would be in the same boat. If you went to the final walkthrough
I
and
don't
there
think,
was no dents until the final one, you would still be in the same boat. Because
why?
if your
I
client
don't
doesn't,
know.
your client doesn't close the deal, there's still gonna be a problem.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish.
Okay,
If we put something in there saying that the seller is responsible for turning the home over, and I'm not gonna do the legal jargon right now, but with all the, we'll say the appliances, that the appliances, we're already put a wrap warranty about in working condition. That will be dent-free, repair, exterior, whatever it is in there, will be, the floors will be, no scratch, well, hard to say scratches, but no holes or whatever, light fixtures, whatever. Why can't something like that work if a seller signed an agreement? Again, we'd have to word it differently, but I'm going in off the experience that I just had on Thursday, where my guy would have had that door fixed if we, again, this doesn't happen too many times, but now it happened to my poor guy, and I'm going, Jesus Christ.
well,
Like,
yeah, and the lawyer's not gonna fight for that. The lawyer's gonna tell you, if they don't agree, I'll try to get you a holdback. If they don't agree to that, you have to close the deal anyway.
that part to do it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, every offer that I'm gonna be doing going forward will have some clause in that I will make up, and I will get with the broker
I'll
record
tell
saying,
you, I'll tell you what the problem with your theory is. The problem is a holdback, a
we're not doing a
holdback.
holdback, though. We're not doing a holdback. That the
Well, you
seller,
would have to, because if you go the day before and there's a problem, he's not going to be able to get it repaired and then
and
by the next morning.
give us some money.
Yeah, but this is the other issue. You can't put a clause with an open-ended amount of money. You don't know what the problem's going to be or how much money you need.
No, I get that part, but I'm sure there's something that can be done, because if this is happening on a regular basis, so great. The microwave's got a big hole in it, or a big scratch right through the whole thing, and you have a nice kitchen. What are you gonna do? You're gonna buy a new microwave.
Well,
So you can say,
what
well,
you
it's
could
work,
do,
functioning.
I think legally and with contract law, I think if you put in there that the buyer and seller agree that if any of the appliances or furniture or fixtures are damaged and not as viewed, both parties agree to a holdback. Make them agree to the holdback, and then you don't know how much it's going to be, but they are agreeing that if there's something ruined, they'll do a holdback for you.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. I think you put the right clause in there, it is possible, because if this is happening, obviously this is happening to people. And, and I don't have the best success with lawyers, a lot of them. I just don't find that they battle hard enough. I had to get my guy a little excited and fired up to get them going a little bit, but I don't know. It's just it's too
I've
wishy.
had my lawyer fight and fight, but the lawyer says to me, Diane, listen, at the end of the day, you're in breach of contract if you don't close. So I'll
Oh,
fight
yeah.
this for you. I've had some close at 5-5 because we're
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah,
But if the other party doesn't give in, one of you have to give in, and we're in breach of contract if we don't close. So we're gonna have to.
I know. Then it gets ugly, then it gets that. So, but so important to do final walkthroughs, 110%, they're not being done enough. So folks, if you're, having a
And
house
if
closing, make sure you get a final walkthrough. Just book it, say, agent, come book it right now. Let's get in the day before, because things can happen, and they do
always,
happen.
And
Always.
I had a client, here's a nice horror story, and then we'll cut it. I bought a house on what the hell was the street called? It's not Fairway. The
Not
one
fair.
off Arda.
Ferndale.
No. Fairview or something. Anyway, can't remember the street. So my client buys this house,
Yeah.
and downstairs, and it's an agent that from our own office that we were buying it off. Okay. Downstairs was an office, and this whole wall was shelving.
Mhm.
So part of the basement wasn't finished. There was an unfinished portion. Then there was the office and a rec room.
Mhm.
So my client says, are they going to take these shelves? And I said, well, the shelves are actually the wall. If they
Yeah.
take the shelves, it's going to be open to the whole unfinished area, right?
Yeah.
So my client was a pretty big, hefty person. So I said, well, shake the shelves. Are they attached?
Yeah.
They were totally attached. We couldn't move them. They had all kinds of glass. It was 12 feet long. They had all these glass things and awards and everything there.
Yeah.
So in the offer, I put all attached shelving.
Yeah.
All attached shelving had to remain. She wanted to do a walkthrough a week before closing. I had a fight with her. I said, a week is too early. I said, we're not going to see everything that's wrong a week early. We need to go the day before.
No, you do.
No, she won't listen. No, Diane, I'm going to be fine. I don't have time. I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, we'll go a week before. The day she moves in, Mark, she calls me.
They're
The
gone.
whole goddamn wall's gone.
Yep.
And it's all now open to the unfinished cement area.
Yep. Yep.
I call now, if we would have gone the day before, they couldn't have removed all that. It was too much, right? They couldn't have done all that in a day.
Yep.
I call the agent. I'm like, what is going on? Where's the shelving in the basement? Well, it wasn't attached. I have pictures from the house. I sent it to Mayfair Drive. That's where it was.
Yep.
I said, you're telling me this 12-foot thing with all these little pieces of glass and all this stuff was not attached? I said, listen, we tried to move that on purpose to see if it was attached, and it was. Well, sorry, it wasn't. So she got screwed.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, there was no room. Like half of this giant room was carpeted, half was concrete floor.
Yep. Yep. And I've seen those type of closet things like that. Like you're not moving them. That acts like a wall. It's a fixture.
Mark, it was like 10 to 12 feet of open white shelving. You know those IKEA white shelving things?
Yeah. They're big. They're heavy.
Well, there's no way it had to be attached on the side somehow because it would fall over. There was nothing on the other side of it, right?
Yep. Was it anchored anywhere?
Well, it must have been because we tried to push it and we couldn't.
It wasn't going.
It wasn't going.
Right. And once that deal is closed, folks, it's closed.
You're done.
Nothing. It's done. Don't even try because it ain't. Yeah, okay, great. We'll send a letter over to them. That goes in the garbage. Nothing happens. Deal's done. They get their money. So
well, and my client said, Diane,
the day before.
Yes, she said, Diane, next house, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to go the day before.
Yep. Any more questions on holdbacks, walkthroughs? Leave a comment. Tell us your story.
Hit hit the like or subscribe. Yeah. And it's buyer beware, man.
You gotta protect yourself today. You just got to. And again, I don't have a lot of bad experiences, but they come up. I've heard some horror stories, and I've seen them and heard about them. And my listings, a lot of them, as again, were dominated by out of town agents, selling and buying up here. They never do them. They never do them. Rare if they do. So
well, and the other thing is you have to make sure your real estate agent knows what they're talking about, because I've heard so many, we'll just do a holdback. Yeah. Well, believe me, I've been there and it does not always work. And your client just gets screwed.
When I had to close this condo here in my place on January 8th, bringing a check for this amount, and what's this? Tried fighting some things on it. No, I'm telling you, that day, 12 o'clock, I'm going to the bank to get the check. Cause if I don't close, you will be closing tomorrow or the next day, then there'll be thousands in fees. I'll be in breach. They will rake me over the coals.
I know.
Right? So I said, suck it up, go get the check, because if I don't, it's gonna be a bigger check.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. Okay, great. That was a good video.
Yeah, great.
See ya.
See ya.